Yes, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great New Year's Eve. Now, let's get into the an outlook of 2023 fast because tomorrow is the market opening, and we need to be very well versed with all the activities worldwide, and we should also be perfectly in tune with what the markets are trying to tell and the news and also analyst reports. Also, at the same time, even though we will be giving more emphasis on technical analysis, it won't be that knowledgeable or uh, risk in any point of view, which we if you just ignore all the other analyst reports or all the news. But at the same time, we should also consider what these institution investors are trying to tell us, and I have read most of it and I have shared them on Twitter, but I will go through them again here. Now, the main factor about Bitcoin, which is the what we call it as heavyweights in crypto, is we have 16,500 on an yearly basis. We have that as an opening. We have that as an opening level, and we have 16,500 as a strong support at this point. Even though they did try to break that on 30th December, they were not successful with the breakdown, and we are standing on a very strong support layer, and also there is a lot of bits at 16,000 levels. But that being said, that doesn't mean the market will just move up effective immediately. That's not usually the case. What happens is the market will most of the times just play around here, and then it will have a breakout of this level. This is the key level which I'm waiting for, but this is the main level which will give me a clear indication that we have a bullish breakout. Yeah, and this part is what we are expecting. It will break out. It will do something like a big wick like this, and then come back and retest. That's the only point we will be moving forward. But breaking 17,200 is a clear sign that bulls are optimistic and they're trying to move out. But that being said, let's not be simply optimistic out of the blue. But main idea here is we should not lose 16,000, because we did have a reversal invalidation when the bears try to push it down. So the layer is thick. It's not something which it will break out immediately. But at the same time, we should not be stuck to an idea where it will not break or anything, because take a look at this in a weekly time frame. Yes, the only thing that's stopping us here is 12,000. There is nothing else as a technical point of view for us to say, okay, do we have any support here? This point of 14,300 was a touch and go point. But that being said, we can see more downside, but only like a wick situation on a higher time frame. But me looking into the halving period which will come this year, uh, it will be a good move up, but we won't see any kind of a big move rally until and after February, because we have lot of interest rate decisions which we have to wait for. And if the Fed continues to increase the Fed rate at this pace, we cannot see the market go up like this, because we need cash and liquidity in the market. Higher interest rates will only tell market is not good for investments. That being said, like I will do another video on the entire market, but as far the outlook is concerned, we should also look at the American stock market also. But just without before I forget, I think we have something like 18 trillion dollars worth of uh, yes, $18 trillion worth of global stock lost out the value. But that's not the only thing which you have to look at. But also $3 trillion worth of money has been saved. There are still smart people here who have saved their money in their checking accounts. But this is again not the entire worldwide we are looking at, but this is only the certain banks and who have given the details of commercial banks which we have to look in. But most of the stimulus checks which was given out, I think most of them gambled it in Robinhood. And I think it has gone through the billionaires at this point. And also at the same time, this is the thing which I was worried about. Credit cards and auto loan reports, it's bad. A delinquency rate is basically like it's getting bad situation. If I will get deeper into it on a separate video, but what happens here is a lot of defaults we are seeing on auto and credit card loans. So mortgages will be very bad, and people are not paying them back. So I think repossessions have already started, which we did see on multiple reports. And this is the snapshot from as the TransUnion monthly industry snapshot. I don't know whether I can completely mention where these reports are, but then Apollo chief economist, that's the analyst report which I was studying. This literally shows the corporate profits dropping and the CEO confidence also dropping, which is obvious, right? Because people, if they are not taking any loans, most of the business, e-commerce or anything, any heavy business, will go through credit cards. But when they already have a bad loan or anything, I don't think they will be able to afford it. And that's the thing. Businesses and CEOs are also telling the same thing. And I will expand this on the next video which coming after, like tomorrow I will explain this. But after, if you look at all the analyst reports of last couple of years, like say if we go back 40 years, 50 years from today, the one thing which we have understood is it will take 2 years for the inflation to drop back to 2%. Now why 2%, you may ask? That's the guidance which healthy inflation, Federal Reserve will always look for year over year over to only 2%, but usually it will always be more than that. But their target is only 2%. But without inflation, it's like if prices doesn't increase, it will always be bad for the economy. Some amount is okay, but then not too much. So here on Ethereum basis, it is holding to $1,200, very good levels, and that's something which it has been held since November, I suppose. Yes, November 9th. From there it is holding that level very good. But then we can expect some kind of a momentum here, because see, the compression is too much. If you have to understand, like that's not good on a daily time frame levels, because the thing is the bias is dropping. See, you can see the buy volume. When the price starts moving up, the volume is dropping, but every time the price drops, the price volume is increasing. That specifically mentions bears are still in control. But that being said, volatility has died down. So both are weak at this point. And logical sense is everyone are waiting here, and the bias is weak, negative. So as a retail perspective, they'll be thinking the market will go down, and they would have shorted the market. So I think if they go and tap 1300 levels and then it drops down after giving out the like short squeeze situation, then if it starts dropping again, I think that's a plausible situation. But until unless if it holds the 1300, it's a good level. But again, as I said, we can never be gambling on these levels. As I said, this level which I have drawn on where November itself, I'm still sticking to that plan. We need to break 1300 and hold it. When I say hold it, it should hold something like this. Understand this? Okay, wait, not sorry. It should hold something like this. Why is it not tagging? Yeah, this is the level which I'm looking for. This is how it should play around here. Because see, the thing is, the support which it forms, it will take a lot of time to break form. It's not something like bottoms will not form that easily. And also, like, you might be like, okay, what's the experience we are trying to what type of experience we are trying to look here is, this is the situation I'm trying to tell you. See, this is not the first time we are seeing this. For many of you, this might be the first time, but see here, this is the level. See how slow it forms, and the See here, this is the same. Like it goes on for 3 to 4 months. Like see this is what I'm telling now. What I'm thinking is it might do something like a wick here and then drop all the way down, but that part I think we already seen now. But it won't be jumping up that fast. See here, for years, it takes years to move out. But as far as the market adoption is concerned, I think we are in somewhere in this zone at this point. I think we will see this coming 2 to 3 weeks, and we can see something like this in March beginning or February end kind of situation. That's the most idea here. But that being said, we will not be expecting too much. But February end till March is the level we am looking for some kind of a spike on the upside. But also that's something which we are very much being optimistic here. At the same time, we have all the oscillators, we meaning buy sell oscillators almost on the oversold condition, and it did come up, but that's not the case with the Bitcoin. So I will not be commenting on that unless we have the heavy weights give value. But that being said, altcoins are completely uh, weakened. We cannot see much of it here. Dollar is breaking down, so that's something which we are very something that's the only optimistic thing which we are looking in the market. So that since the dollar is breaking out, we will have a good market conditions tomorrow when US markets open, and Asian markets have a lot of money moving into it, because mostly Indian markets, because there is a good business opportunity there to create India China 2.0 situation, second manufacturing hub, because most of the shipping things which gets manufactured in China goes through Indian Ocean. So I think they are trying to set up industries there as a backup because of COVID policy in China. I don't think it will be set up anytime soon, but the game is they are trying to invest a lot of this money into companies which are trying to make business partnership with American companies, so they can set up their manufacturing units in India. So that's something which I have been observing and monitoring for too long, but then I do not want to give out incomplete information. Once I have the complete details, I will post a video on it. But until then, see, altcoins are literally down. Solana is like it's single digit at this point. It's trying to come up, but then it's single digit. So we don't have much to comment on these things. Unless we have Bitcoin in the value, we do not have anything to speculate on them. But S&P 500 did lose 18 trillion dollars in the Nasdaq or anything American market. When you say as a combined, these are just indices, but as you say, American market lost 18 trillion dollars. Can you imagine in 1 year? But that being said, it was worse in September levels, but then now we are okay. We are finding support here. It will be more of a consolidation level. I'm still hoping it will tap 4K, because see, indices, speaking of they won't just drop off all of a sudden. They will make a consolidation level as psychological levels, and the closest one is either 3500, which it did tap. See, it did tap exactly 0.6 Fibonacci level, and then I think it will go to 4000 now, and then screw everyone's mind, and then it will fall back. But that being said, we will have to wait. Dow Jones Industrial Average, it did try to occupy the 33,000 level, but yeah, Tesla and those things created a lot of havoc in the American market. So these indices also started losing too much value. But you can understand one thing: the heavyweights and the ones which most people are thinking about, they are the ones that will move the markets, because the overall sentiment is basically like fear and greed, right? So when you say sense fear in the market, yeah, even though good fundamentals are there in the companies, they will lose value. So in the next video, maybe tomorrow, I think, I don't know when this will be uploaded. what happens is, next video, which when I upload, I will be talking about all the credit reports, emerging markets, and multiple credit reports I saw, analyst reports, I mean, of JP Morgan and Credit Suisse and uh, Apollo investment firms. I will take a look at them, and then I will give you analyst reports on what these things are and what they're basically trying to tell. Most of them are trying to tell the same thing, so it's not a big deal. We will take a look at them and I will let you know. But as far as the outlook is concerned, everyone is trying to sell the same thing. China is an issue. They're trying to create a new second hub in India, and Taiwan and Japan. And recession is not a big concern in America now. Eurozone and the UK is the highest concern, which might go into recession because of the energy bill, and a lot of energy crisis over there. But that being said, I think US will be okay situations, but it's now looks like an emerging market is where people are looking into. That's Asian and Africa is where they're looking for minerals and stuff like that. Yeah, we will analyze them and we'll let you know. Have a great day, guys.